Hi, everybody, and welcome back to episode 1 of my podcast. Today, I want to talk about revenge, anger, and the slow death of creativity. I'm not here to tell you not to be angry. I'm here to tell you what happens when anger starts writing for you. The temptation of revenge is great. I think revenge feels productive. And by that I mean anger feels like energy, hostility feels like clarity. Anger is seductive because it feels like motion. It feels like you're doing something about it. You're finally not frozen anymore. You're sharp. You're focused. You're right. But anger is not the problem. Letting anger drive your work is. So I kind of want this podcast to be about how personal anger creeps into your writing disguised as honesty and how it slowly strangles your imagination. You know, for those of you too young to remember, Alfred Hitchcock was a legendary director of psychological suspense. And he famously warned that anger kills creativity because it pours vital energy into something you've already finished, something you can't change anymore. Hitchcock believed that hostility is death to creativity because creativity requires curiosity, and hostility shuts down curiosity fast. She's late. Is it traffic, a sick kid, something went wrong? Keep the mind open instead of locking it. The moment you decide why someone is a villain with no interior life, no backstory, your story collapses into propaganda. Anger demands that you understand whatever has happened right now. There's no room for thinking about it or giving alternative reasons for it. Curiosity allows you and your character uncertainty. As a psychologist, I can say that neurologically, as well as in your writing, anger and curiosity kind of pull in opposite directions. With anger, it's, she did this to me. Curiosity is, what else could be true? The second sentence dissolves the first. The moment a character becomes curious, they stop being purely angry. The moment they stay angry, curiosity's gone. Imagine two versions of the same story premise. A woman believes her husband is trying to kill her. Ooh, that's a good one. In the first version, which is written from your anger, maybe a rejection you just received, the writer decides early on the husband's a monster, he's cruel, he's manipulative, he's irredeemable. Every scene exists to expose him. What happens on the page is that your dialogue becomes obvious. The actions that you give him are predictable. And now your readers know what he is before the story even begins. There's no tension. There's only confirmation. That's hostility writing your story for you. You're not watching the character evolve anymore. They're prosecuting him before they even know what he's arrested for. They can watch Law and Order if they want to do that. We want to make them continue to turn the page. Now listen to the same story, only written from curiosity. What does the husband believe he's doing? What does he fear losing? Is he aware of his own cruelty, or is he blind to it? See, now his kindness becomes unsettling. His gestures carry double meanings. The reader leans forward, not because they hate him, but because they're unsure of what he's doing. What game is he playing? The suspense doesn't come from violence. It comes from not knowing. That uncertainty is curiosity, and curiosity keeps your story alive. The moment you decide you know who someone is, the story's kind of over. Hostility says, I know what you are, and I know what you're doing. Curiosity is, show me. And suspense, true suspense, can only exist in the second part. Hitchcock believed hostility kills creativity because hostility stops looking for the answers, and storytelling begins by looking again and again at what your character's doing. Revenge scenes die when the character's emotionally ahead of the reader. For instance, you write, she finally told him the truth. He deserved it. He felt powerful for the first time in years. He nodded as if she'd handed him instructions. Only later did she realize what she'd done. What changed? There's no moral conclusion. The reader stays inside uncertainty, Let the character act before they understand the weight of what they've done. That's what keeps people turning pages. Author anger flattens when it assigns motive too early. This is the single biggest giveaway of sabotage, flattening a line. For instance, he knew exactly what he was doing when he destroyed her. That sentence may be true emotionally, but it kills complexity. Instead, force your sentence to answer this question without stating it. What does he believe he's doing? As an example, the villain as self-justifier. Not he ruined her career out of jealousy, but he told himself he was preserving the work, that she would thank him once the noise died down. See, now he's still guilty, but the harm emerges through rationalization, not through your indictment on the page. Your anger becomes diagnostic instead of accusatory. Revenge scenes flatten when anger speaks instead of behavior. If your prose sounds angry, the scene weakens. "You ruined my life," she said coldly. Deepened. She asked him a question he couldn't answer without lying. Then she waited. Think without the reveal. You want your characters, each one of them, to think their own thoughts. By having them speak to the other person in that way, you'll show their anger without addressing it. It will reveal itself. And lastly, never let revenge feel emotionally tidy. Author anger wants the scene to feel good. Good fiction often makes revenge incomplete, disquieting, destabilizing. She expected relief. What she felt instead was something thinner, like air after a storm when the damage is still standing. Just consequences. Ask yourself line by line, am I telling the reader what to feel here? Am I assigning motive where behavior would be enough? Does the character understand the full impact of his act yet? Would this scene still work if I removed the angriest sentence? If the answer is number 4, then that sentence has got to go. Cut it out, reframe it. That's what keeps your power. You're not wrong to be angry. You just don't get to speak as the judge on your own page. So thank you for watching. And next week, we'll talk about some of the great stories that show this kind of anger and how it was changed into something that moves you. Thank you.